Welcome to Saturday night's version of End the Simpademic. This is Jason. I'm just going to come at you here with some general observations today about the overall dating and relationship scene. So, this is going to be a big picture video for me, and so I'll start with the manosphere itself. With a lot of these men channels, a lot of them are faceless channels where you don't see the person's face. And I think that they are making this situation to be more extreme than it really is. However, there are some bits of truth in there, as usually is the case. Given the fact that I've dealt with being reported falsely for harassment by women myself, I know that it's a very real thing. And the dating scene is terrible right now for a lot of reasons. That being one of them, but not the only one. So, what does this mean for our country as a whole? Well, as I've seen recently, a birth rate of 2.0 for every woman of childbearing age. Actually, I think it's actually 2.1. It's considered replacement level for the population. Right now, the United States is at 1.70. There are countries in worse shape in Western Europe, and then also South Korea is all the way down to 1.26. So 1.70, what that means is each generation is going to have 30% fewer people than the previous one. And economically for our country, that's very bad. We need people to fill economic productive roles in order to maintain our status as basically the world's economic power. And this threatens that. Because if we don't have enough people to fill the jobs, and we're not going to get the production that we are used to as a country. So the childbirth rate going down is not very good. The other number that I've seen lately that's also not very good is the percentage of single men who have stopped trying, or they don't even approach or bother anymore. The answer is 63%, according to a research study by the Pew Research Group. And the other thing that the same study also revealed is that over 50% of women between the ages of 21 and 45 by 2030 will be single and childless. And I think a lot of those numbers are related to each other, and I think it's just an overall not a very good scene. With that said, do I believe that it's possible to land yourself a supportive partner who will be a helper for you as opposed to a drag or a financial drain? Is it possible? Sure it is. There's a lot of great women out there right now, and I am acquainted with a couple of them online in particular who I think are just the bomb. And do I think that, I think because I'm in Minnesota and they're in Texas, they're both in Texas, by the way, that it's not practical to think about them that way. But at the same time, they have a lot of the characteristics that I think many men desire. One of them has on their Twitter X page, spectacularly feminine, which is, you can't give me a man who would not appreciate that. You probably can't find one. It's the way we're wired. And so big picture right now, yes, it sucks, but yes, it's actually still possible. And I believe that my God in particular will get me that person, if he so desires. And if he doesn't, that's great too, because then I have a peaceful life up here in the exurban Twin Cities of Minnesota, in a relatively small town. I have a quality life here. I just got done hanging up some of my wall decorations that I took with me after I got out of the hospital. It's been 2 years, but I hadn't gotten around to getting them up, but I finally did. And now my place looks actually a little more like a place to live, although I probably need some more. I think I'm going to go out there looking for some next week. But anyway, overall, yes, it's a crap scene. No, it's not impossible. There are women and men out there who share identical values. It's just a matter of fate or God, depending on how you look at it, to make those things happen. And I think two things that need to happen in order to be able to solve this quagmire that we have in the dating scene. One is for the men and one is for the women. The men need to start upping their game, and they need to get their financial house in order and be a productive member of society. I used to be an Uber driver part-time back around, before I went to the hospital for the traumatic brain injury in 2022, for a few years. If I had $1 for every time I got a request from somebody named Michelle, and it's a hoodlum with baggy pants stumbling their way out of their gentrified apartment building, I would have at least had a few meals. I'm not going to say I'd be a millionaire, but I would say that I would have a few meals, because these women are not looking for relationships, obviously. They're looking, for one-night flings, and these guys fit that particular bill. But I think we need to give women a more appealing group to pick from. And, for me, it's upping your physical game, upping your spiritual game, upping your financial or career game. And I think a lot of men could use the latter. That'd be great. Now, to meet us halfway, I think the women need to lower their expectations. Now, I see a lot of videos on YouTube and TikTok, women laying out all these ridiculous expectations. And as I mentioned in last night's video, I think a lot of these women are doing it for attention or trying to go viral. May not be how they really feel, but I think for some of them it is. And so, don't necessarily, the expectation that a man needs to be 6 feet tall, have a six-figure income, and have six-pack abs is ridiculous. I think somebody did the demographics on that, and I think it was like the percentage of men in this country who meet those qualifications is somewhere like 0.14%. Just something absurdly low. And if these women really do feel that way, they're competing for a very small sliver of men. So let's meet each other halfway on this one a little bit and have everybody either up their game or lower their expectations. And I think we'll meet in a good spot in the middle, and we will carry forward in a healthier atmosphere. So anyway, those are my general thoughts for the night. Welcome. This is the Saturday night version of the Simpademic, signing off here, and I will be back tomorrow. Oh, and by the way, don't drink and drive tonight, and also, likewise, don't do anything stupid. Peace out.